Hi guys. Right now, I'm sitting in the car and I just finished eating Steak and Shake. I don't know if you ever heard of that place, but I'm sitting here enjoying the scenery. I'm looking at these birds around my car and chirp. They just stopped as I started to record, and oh, there they go. I'm gonna open the door so I can hear them. You hear them? Yeah, so I've been sitting here, not for too long. I think that this is gonna be my go-to place. This is like my second time eating from here. But that's not why I wanted to make this video. I'm really calm right now, and I don't have the itis. I'm just in a calm state, a state that I never thought I would get back into, and I'm happy that I'm here. For you to see me in this video, fresh-faced and going as natural as I will go. Period. I always wanted to say that, period. But yeah, I just wanted to talk so you could see my teeth. These are my teeth. I'm working on whitening the rest of them, but I've been really working on myself inside and out. And I haven't really been posting on YouTube like I initially began because life happens. And I'm the type of person that when I'm going through something, I have to overanalyze it countless times to myself in order for it to like process and register. Like, I've always been like that, even since a kid. Like, before I went to go seek advice, I would have conversations with myself several times upon engaging with another person's thoughts about my situation or me in my situation. You know, you have to just see things that way. But I'm making this video because it's a beautiful day today. And I really wanted to share a message. I won't be on here for too long. But I was driving in a car on my way here to get something to eat because I always forget to eat when I come out, and then I'll be like so tired and I'll be wondering why I'm so tired. But I was driving and I thought to myself, I just said to myself in my head, I said, from me, for me, from you, for you, from us, to us, and from you to me, then from me to you. So I think that's about 6 sayings, if I'm not correct. But I feel like those are the 6 components to being in a relationship of any kind, whether it's a friendship, even with family, relationships, siblings, any type of ship, which is a bond that has to sell away in order to work. Friendship. It's a pact you make with a person or a group to succeed in whatever you planned out or talked about. And only the successful ships sail. And that's what I feel. In order to have a healthy ship to sail, those 6 things that I just named all have to be doable, foreseeable, and done, or being done, in the process of being done. And I'm gonna break it down for you if you really don't understand. But the from me to me is, I like to consider it as like a form of self-love. You have to be at the from me, for me stage before you get involved with anybody else. And I mean that in every way, not just in a relationship, even in business. Like, you have to be one already, because if you come half, which is not always bad, but I really recommend that for like younger people, younger kids, younger relationships, just younger, because it gives you time to grow and work and mold together. But when you are older, I feel like the requirements change because you learn new things about yourself, more things, or you should be learning more things about yourself and others and what you do and don't like. You know, you're developing more as an adult. So a lot of situations at some point in your adulthood should be avoided, or they should be avoided, or you should be able to avoid them and see and have a certain level of discernment to save you from, and another person from, wasting time, emotions, and things of that sort. And I'm only talking about these things because these are things that I have experienced. And when I sit back and I think to myself, a part of me feels a sense of solace. I don't know if I said that right, SOLACE, solace or solace, because I feel like it was needed. I literally had an epiphany the other day, and I always, from a kid, I've always talked to myself, answered myself. I knew shit without people telling me, especially with my mom. She used to get really shocked. She would try her best to hide things from me, and somehow I would still find out. But that's for another time. But I forget where I was at. Okay, this is what I was going to say. All my life, I'm not going to say I was put on a pedestal, but that's how a lot of people where I'm from see it. But I was a freaking warrior. I grew up in a place where the respect and protection for black women like myself was minimal. So by the age of 9, I think I already had a chip on my shoulder. And it wasn't in a sense of where everybody got this side of me, but the people who deserved it got it. There was no in between, But I seen so many single women in my lifetime, and my family around even in a lot of my friends' households. I think I was blessed to have one or two friends / family members, one Latino and the other one black like myself. Families stay together. And I'm talking about out of all of my years, out of the friends that I stayed in touch with and still have a good, healthy relationship, I only have 2 friends whose parents are together. And that ratio is slim. So I'm saying that to say, I watched a lot of single mothers just go through so much, and finding a partner to be in a relationship with, being in a relationship with the wrong partner, trying to develop and grow with a partner who could potentially be the right partner, and losing a partner either to death or, violence, wrongful violence, just violence, period, in so many categories. And single mothers switching to the same sex because you feel like you get more done with the female, or sometimes you get a worse result from a female in that sense too. I just seen all of these things play out in front of me, and I would have been a fool not to take some of it in. It was a lot to process as a kid. I never really felt like I could just cruise on through the world. I portrayed that when I went outside, but deep down inside, I had so many thoughts and worries about myself, who I was going to wind up with and what challenges would I have to face due to the fact or lack thereof of knowledge that was able to be passed down because of the past traumas and relationships from, family, in my family, or in just in my environment, So very rarely, it was very seldom that I took advice from people. Like, I would listen to some things and take them in, but I wouldn't really like take it as like the Bible, because a person can only give you as much input based on their output, if that makes sense. So a lot of people are afraid to expose themselves, to be vulnerable with the fear of it might not working out or whatever. And I seen the people who have fear, like, it's like I seen the people in relationships, no matter what it was, friendship or whatever, I seen the people who had fear and wore it, that like it was so recognizable for me to see the fear because I grew up around trauma. So it was so like obvious to me, like I could see, like, people were naked to me. And what I concluded was that people who live in fear have shitty situations. Majority, because some people are protected by what have you, like family, isolation, whatever. But I'm saying for the people out there who are like me, whose parents became parents at a young age and they had to learn with their children, like, I learned that people who lived in fear were the least successful, the most unhappy, the loudest person in the room, base their life off of tangible goods. Like, I noticed all of that at a young age. They talk bad about people for no reason. Like, their outer appearance was stunning, beautiful, like just gorgeous. But when you got to know them in their insides, it was ugly. People who are flawless, so to speak, when you're around them or you look at them, those are the most of the times, because some people have done work on themselves and they worked hard to look the way they look. And some people, they kind of just get by taking from here, taking from there, and making it them. It's like a sponge in a sense, but a smart sponge. You know what to absorb. But one day, and I'm about to get out this video because I said I wasn't gonna be here long. But one day, for those of you who don't know, I am a survivor of a domestic violence relationship. And I'm going to be talking about this going forward. I don't think I'm ever going to stop talking about it, because there's so many women being born into my family, legacy. And I just want them to be strong, stronger than me, more knowledgeable than me. And I want to set them up the way my mother tried her best. And she did set me up to go far. So, don't worry about things. Don't worry about people. Don't worry about what they say. Don't worry about what they feel. Don't worry about how they act. Don't worry about what they do. Don't worry. If I could go back into the past and hug myself and talk to myself, I would tell her that everything she did and thought and felt and said and prayed for and anything else was true, and it was gonna come to fruition because I was ordained, and it was gonna happen. That's what I would say to myself. I grew up with so much worry. It's like I was an empathetic being. Like, I took in the energy and the emotion and the fears of other people because I love like that. People say Geminis love hard. No, we love for real. And we love so much that sometimes when we come across people that we really, really like, and we really, really respect them, and we really, really see something in them, and we know that we're going through something, we have the decency, not only for the other person, but for ourselves, to know. That's where the humble part comes from. To know that this time is not the right time because you have other things lined up that you need to do. So I got this conclusion the other day with me saying, having said that's the type of person I want in my life. I want a person like me. And I'm realizing that my level of competence, a lot of people are incompetent in the way that I am competent. So I have to have a better discernment for people that I am to help, and for people that are there to help me, and to know when to go into hermit mode, and to be in a position to know when I'm ready. I feel like I lived my life on the front line. I never had a chance to prepare. I never had a chance to decide whether I really wanted to do something because life was happening so fast. And not only, like, some kids have the luxury to focus on one thing at one time. You know, I always envied that, because it's like I would go home, I would get up for school, I had to wake my brothers up. I'll wake my brothers up, I had to make sure my baby brother stayed up. I had to make sure he got to school. We walked to school together. I had to make sure we had breakfast. I had to make sure that, you know, if we didn't have breakfast at home, that you eating in school, you got in line. I always had a responsibility after school. Homework, chores. I see my mom working her ass off, you know, all of these long shifts. I barely ever saw my mother. So I would be that child to try to cook, to clean. Like, so she, you know, because I would see her and she always looked so angry. And I just would do anything to make her smile. Like, she didn't really have to tell me to do anything. And I think with my mom seeing that about me, I don't know, I feel a lot of parts of me feel like she saw herself in me. She would say it sometimes, but at first I didn't really believe it. Like, how could we be so much alike? You know, that's how I felt at that time. Like, I feel like I'm my own person. Like, no, I'm a mixture of my mom and my dad. I can't be everything her. Like, I was just, you know, young. But looking back in retrospect, I feel like everything that I do and that I have done, all the tears that I have cried, all the lessons that I have learned, is because of this woman. And she used to tell me before she passed, God, may her soul live on through this earth even after I die. May our souls live on. A lot of people say rest in peace, but spirits like us, we don't rest. A part of our peace and what helps us to rest at the little bit of times we do rest is helping people. I realized that when I was in this relationship, or whatever you want to call it, I saw so many red flags and signs to the point where it became addicting. It became addicting for me to see, addictive for me to see all of these negative attributes. And there were some good ones, but mainly negative. And I thrived on staying in that relationship as long as I possibly could without me, you know, getting a record or anything of that sort, with hopes that it may change. But even if it didn't, I will be walking away so knowledgeable, to the point where I could pass on and share this knowledge. I could see this person or people like this person spot on, and I would know the difference. I could feel it. You never really learn to appreciate good experiences that you have with people until you have a bad one. And that was all it took for me. Like, I called that level 13. I was like, God, thank you. I would pray, I would cry, I would scream in the bathroom. I would just go through so many things. And I would say, when I get out of the situation, I'm an advocate in your name and your spirit, because I know only you could have got me here. And here I am in my uniform, And my rags, they're mine. And I like it that way. All gifts that you receive from people are not good gifts. All things that you hear is not meant with the intent that is being projected. So you have to have discernment. But before I leave out and close with this video, I would like to ask you guys to like and subscribe. And if you're not too chicken, share my video, or just come here to watch and get some good energy whenever you have the time. God bless this world and the people in it, lost and found. And I pray that this message reaches whoever it is that it needs to reach. And just follow me on this journey, because I'm happy and I'm only going to get happier. Freedom, love, being kind, and giving back to other people are the strongest forms of wealth. Money, which a lot of people think is the strongest form of wealth, is not. Because even with it, if you don't have those things that I just named, your heart is not clean, there's very little that you could do with that a lot of money. So be blessed, repent, and stay tuned, because there's more where this came from. Everybody have a blessed day, and I will see you soon.